example 3, we have a different situation happening. We're not telling you what the initial velocity or the starting value is. We're giving you the actual equations themselves. And so, and it's a situation where you can read the problem yourself, but like we want to figure out who threw the ball higher. So on the one hand, we have Tommy, and not that you necessarily need to know this, but like we know enough to pull this equation apart. Tommy, when he threw the ball, it left his hand, we know it's 70 feet per second, and it was 9 feet off the ground. Steve threw his ball 60 feet per second. It was 8 feet off the ground. You know, just based off of that, you might be able to figure out, well, this guy threw the ball harder. It started higher. He's probably winning the bet. But I want to see the math involved. And the point is, if we want to figure out who threw the ball higher, we need to know the max height. So we want the y value of this guy's vertex and the y value of this guy's vertex. So even if all this velocity and initial height stuff's not making sense, I hope the idea that the maximum height is the y value of the vertex makes sense. And I hope you all know that if you've graphed a quadratic, you know how to find the y value of the vertex. In standard form, of course, we're going to use opposite of b divided by 2a to find the x-coordinate, or in this case, t-coordinate of the vertex, and then we'll plug it in to find the actual height itself. So let's do the math on this and see if my suspicion is correct and that Tommy throwing the ball harder and starting higher makes him win the bet. I want the math to back it up. So Tommy, we'll do Tommy in beautiful black. I got to start with the A value we know is negative 16. The B value we know is 70. The C value we know is 9. I'm going to start with the opposite of B divided by 2 times A. So in this case, negative 7D over 2 times A is negative 32. Get the old calculator out. One sec. This is more like what I'm used to seeing, a number that's really hideous. 2.1875. So that tells me when his ball's at the highest, but it doesn't tell me what it actually is. To find it, I've got to figure out the y value for the vertex, or the height at that time. So I'm going to take that gross number and plug it in for t. Let me pause. You guys see what I'm doing here. Oh, no, you can write it down yourself, so I'll just do it. I'll write slow. Plus 70 times that time plus 9. And then I'll get the old calculator out and see what this actual height is. So assuming I didn't make any weird key stroke errors, I got a height of 85. We'll go round to the nearest 10th. 85.6 feet. I rounded off a little bit. So that's Tommy's deal. Or Tom. And now we'll try Steve. So his value for A, B, and C are a little bit different. His value for A is going to equal negative 16. Value for B is going to equal 60. His value for C is going to equal 8. Again, I'll use opposite of B divided by 2 times A. So I have negative 60 over negative 32, which I get a value of 1.875. So after 1.875, his ball is going up, 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 and then 1.875 seconds later, it's at the top of its game. It's not going any higher. It's going to start to fall after that amount of time. We just got to figure out what that height was. So we'll take that time and we'll plug it into Steve's equation. So that'll be negative 16. This is the time when it reaches the highest point, plus 60 times 1.875 plus the 8 feet that it already was off the ground when it left his hand. So again, calculator time. So again, assuming I didn't make any weird calculator errors, I got a value of 64.25 feet. So now to answer the question, who won the bet? Well, Tom threw it 85.6 feet. Steve threw it 64.25 feet. They wanted to see who could throw the ball higher. This kid threw it higher, so Tom won. Hooray! Hooray for Tom and his amazing arm. So that's all the math I want to see, and I can't summarize it enough times. It's a word problem. It's going to make you upset. No. You're going to stay calm, and you're going to say, what am I doing? I'm finding the y value for the vertex. If I understand how to find A, B, and C, if I understand how to use the opposite of B divided by 2A, if I know how to plug numbers into a function, this is no problem. I just have to follow the steps in the correct order, know the formula opposite of B over 2A, and it's gravy. Gravy is the way people a generation above mine say it's good. I just made that up. Good luck.